try to make that North team go outside. I should say South team go outside on defense. He feels that with the pursuit at linebacker, he's got 3 great linebackers led by Luke Lovejoy, and they really pursue well. They have great speed, so he's going to try to make that team go to the outside and see that pursuit picks up with that club. Now, the wind today, as you mentioned, is going to be a factor. It's hot down here. The coaches are going to be looking at rotating people and trying to keep people fresh. This is kind of a dangerous day, I might add, because with that temperature being 130 degrees, you got to watch your players and make sure you don't have a heat problem with those individual players. So it's going to be a definite factor this afternoon.
Offensively, the North has a couple of big play guys, too.
They got a couple of big play guys. We're going to be looking for people like Mr. Borman from Bellevue Christian, number 89. Keep your eyes peeled for Borman. They think they got to get the ball to him to about 5-6 times this afternoon to really make it a factor. So he's a big play guy. They're going to have their work cut out for him, though. The North team's a big team. They average 251 pounds per man in the line. Bob, it's kind of that deal, the big team that has great talent versus a small team that has talent. And on a hot day like today, that big player is going to exert more effort and more energy to make the great plays. The smaller guy is going to exert just as much effort, but maybe not be quite as worn out by the end of the day as that big player. So the weather, really a factor.
Adrian, kind of an interesting contrast in style. The South coach, Chuck Mazurski, much more tightly wound than Coach Schnitzler. Will that be reflected in his players, too, do you think?
Well, Coach Mazurski really runs a tight ship. I mean, those kids really respond to him. It's almost kind of a military-style approach to coaching. He's really a fine guy, though, and he's really an excellent football coach. But he is. He's very disciplined, and the kids really respond to him. Now, Bob Schnitzler, a little bit different, a little more casual approach to the whole thing. I think as the afternoon wears on, perhaps the casual approach might be the way to go this afternoon.
Speaking of casual, we have the most casual guy in the stadium on our Nebraska ETV crew today. Frosty Anderson, a former wide receiver at Nebraska. We'll talk about the game from the sidelines. Let's go to Frosty for his preview of this Shrine Bowl Classic.
I appreciate that, Bob. Now, as last year's viewers can attest, we ran into some pretty interesting situations down here on the sidelines. I've talked to both coaches. They're loose, they're ready to go, and they're willing to let us eavesdrop a little bit. Maybe by the end of the day, that'll give us a little more idea as to what they're thinking about and how they're going to approach it as the game comes to a close. As for the players, they get bigger, faster, and stronger each year, and I've talked to a few of them. As far as I'm concerned, they're a little more level-headed. They know how to handle themselves both on camera and off, and they've been taught a lot of these new sophisticated playing techniques. They handle them well, and they use them to their advantage. It should be quite a thing to see. Also, we'll keep in touch with any injury updates, changes in the substitution schedules, and the like, so we should have a pretty good day ahead of us.
Frosty, do your best to stay out of the heat and keep us abreast of what's going on here on the field. Let's take a look at the starting lineups now for both the North and the South, taped earlier this week at the Shriners Hospital in Minneapolis. And first up, a look at the North team. This is Mark Smith, the punter and kicker from Gehring, Nebraska. Paul Check from Schuyler, the starting quarterback on the North team. Dave Savela from Lincoln Northeast High, quarterback, tight end, and defensive back. Dan Sullen, quarterback from Blair, Nebraska. Troy Drahota, safety from Norfolk. Terry Thomas, a talented two-way player from Omaha Burke.
And a big speedster, Bob.
Justin Hagum, defensive back from Morrill. Here's their big threat, George Ochola, running back, Creighton Prep. Mark Mattingly, defensive back, Grand Island Northwest. Matt Fox, safety from Fremont High. Tim Yonk, the big running back from Schuyler. Doug Dennis, safety from Millard North. Troy Euler, running back from Battle Creek. Kirk Coleman, linebacker, Omaha Northwest. Mike Noble, fullback, Elkhorn Mount Michael. Scott Hammonds, fullback from Columbus. Nolan Byer, starting running back from Sidney St. Pat's. Michael Ware, linebacker, Omaha Burke. Mark Linder from Millard North. Luke Lovejoy, linebacker, Millard North. Greg Shonka, tackle, David City Aquinas. Bill Cox, the guard from Grand Island. Joel Clausen, guard from Fremont High. Doug Richling, the big center from Grand Island. Eric Wiegers, a guard from Fremont Bergen. Monty Dixon, tackle, Grand Island Central Catholic. Pat Engelbert, tackle, Columbus SCOTUS. Bill Duncan, Lincoln Northeast High, a late replacement on this team. Craig Gunther, a guard from Battle Creek. Here's one of your big threats, Danny Lohmeyer, tight end, Creighton Prep. Jay Masick, kicker from Shadron. Gary Crumlin, wide receiver, Madison. And Bill Liska from Wayne, Nebraska. And here are your coaches for the North. Fred Petito from Millard North. From Valentine High School, Jack Sunderland. And from Morrill High, Kirk Cameron. And your North head coach from Battle Creek, Nebraska, Bob Schnitzler. That is your North team here in the Shrine Bowl today. Now we'll look at the South squad. This is James Anderson, quarterback from Millard South High School. John Atkinson from Omaha West Side. The State High School Athlete of the Year, Tom Haas, quarterback from Aurora. Todd Young, quarterback from Syracuse. This is Charles Carroll, running back from Omaha South. Scott Gertis, running back from Auburn. Steve Mitchell, wide receiver, Ralston High. This is Brian Holloway, may not play today because of a bad ankle, from Grant Perkins County. Steve Weiss, running back, Beatrice. Craig Foreman, a very talented kicker from Ralston High. Mark Quist, wide receiver, Bellevue East. Greg Dugan, a separated shoulder, the fullback from Lincoln Pius, may not play today. Chris Winscott, fullback from Plattsmouth High. Curtis Cotton, fullback, Omaha Central. Tom Lammel, defensive back, Millard South. John Gorzley, center, Bellevue West. Brent Samuelson, a guard from Bertrand, Nebraska. Ryan Timmerman, the starting center from Beatrice. Bill Ziegelbein, fullback from Polk, Nebraska. From McCook, center, Brian Monson. One of 3 Lincoln Southeast players, guard, Dean Sanford. From Lincoln East High School, guard, Kent Anthony. From Papillion La Vista High School, guard, Scott Lang. His high school teammate, tackle, Tom Shepard, also from Papillion La Vista. A late addition to this team from Omaha South High School, tackle, Matt Sopsich. From Omaha Bryan, tackle, the biggest man on the team, 295 pounds, Chuck Murphy. From Republican Valley, tackle, Brian Brown. From Syracuse, Nebraska, center, Jeff Mueller. From Millard South High School, tackle, Matt Rayburn. Todd Mason, end from York, Nebraska. From Lincoln Southeast, end, Price Rivers. From Bellevue Christian, wide receiver, Mike Borman. And from Lincoln Southeast, end, Tim Herman. Your all-star assistant coaches for the South team, from Bertrand, Ron Kubik. From Papillion High School, Gene Suhr. From Syracuse, Reed Stevenson. And your head coach for the South team, from Lincoln Southeast, Chuck Mazurski. And Adrian, you can bet each and every one of those kids will play in this ball game. Say, look at the conditions, over 100 degrees, 130 plus on the field. What's it like to play a ball game when it's this hot?
I tell you, it's you got to be very, very mindful, Bob, of your body and just what your body is telling you, and you got to try to keep it, of course, cool down as much as you can. Now, the trainers have the great responsibility to, provide that ice and provide that towel and make sure you have plenty of fluids and liquids. You got that hat on a day like today at 100 degrees straight temperature, about 130 plus on the field. It's like an oven inside that helmet. So, again, it's a very dangerous, it can be a very, very dangerous situation. And, again, the medical people have a great responsibility. The coach, both coaches, Coach Mazurski and Coach Schnitzler both, are going to try to rotate everybody. As we look at today's officials, head referee Tom Marsachek, umpire Gene Carroll, linesman Ron Stiggy, the line judge, Scott Cotton, and the back judge, Bob McAuliffe. So,
And Adrian, they have instituted one rule change specifically because of the heat. The officials will call an extra timeout per quarter to give the teams another chance to rest, get water to the kids, and help them try to fight this heat today.
you bet. And they'll be looking for signs. You really have to watch for those kinds of signs of heat exhaustion and what could end up being a very difficult time for an individual. So we're about ready to set it up here, Bob, and let's have a good one.
All right, Adrian, the North has won the toss. They will kick off and defend the South goal. The North in the white, the South in the red, and you can see the effect of the wind and heat already. The ball is blown off the tee. Jay Masick from Chadron High, number 84, will kick off.
We talked about it in the pregame show a little bit, Bob, but today's ball game is kind of like playing inside a clothes dryer. I mean, the wind is blowing, it's hot, it's heavy, and you're rolling around out there, and it reminds me of just being inside a clothes dryer to try to play a football game.
Wish these kids luck. Here we go with the 29th Shrine Bowl football game. The kick with the wind goes out of the end zone, and the South will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20.
That was Curtis Cotton down there, of course, and the ball riding that wind, as you mentioned. Cotton really no play. As we look at the offensive backs, at quarterback, as we say, Tom Hasse. At one of the other running backs, Steve Mitchell. Scott Gertis at fullback, and Mike Borman, an outstanding football player at flanker. In the offensive line, Rivers at tight end, Brown at tackle, Anthony at guard, Timmerman center, Sopsich at right guard, Murphy and Mason finishing out the line of scrimmage. So
Tom Haas, the state high school athlete of the year from Aurora, Nebraska. The first give up the middle to I-back Steve Mitchell. Matt Bach, the safety on the tackle. Mitchell 5'11", 170.
Take a look at the North defensive line. Ware, Gunther, Duncan, and Engelbert in that up front line. And here are the foaming at the mouth people. Clausen, Lovejoy, and Coleman at the linebackers. And in the secondary, Thomas, Dennis, Bach, and Manley.
Gain of 7 on first down, 2nd down, and 3 for the South. Hasse, the fake, rolling out to the left side, and he'll get maybe back to the line of scrimmage.
Saw that time number 72 for the North squad. Bill Duncan, a replacement, late replacement on that North team. He came up and made the hit, sealed off that right side after a fine execution that time by number 15, Tom Hasse, on that reverse option play.
Adrian, we might look for Borman in this situation. Coach Mazurski said they must get the ball to Borman in order to win this ball game. Watch number 89, Mike Borman, on a 3rd down and 2. They keep it on the ground, though. Hasse, the give back, and nowhere. That is Charles Carroll. Check that, Scott Gertis, and the tackle again by Engelbert.
Good job that time, Bob, by Pat Engelbert from Columbus SCOTUS, all-state football player, really an excellent basketball player also, 6'2", 225.
That'll put them in a kicking situation. It'll be 4th down and about 1.5, maybe 2 yards. Coach Mazurski very high on his kicker.
Critical situation here for the South team with the wind blowing the way it is against that stiff wind. He's going to have to get that kickoff against a brisk wind. North ought to come up with good field position on the exchange.
This is Craig Foreman out of Ralston High. He's on the way to Northwestern University. It's an end-over-end kick, and it'll bounce, take a good north bounce, and finally down at the 46-yard line.
That time for the North team, number 86, is it? Well,
Gary Crumlin.
Gary Crumlin, right. Yeah. Sorry, folks. On the offensive team, check Beyer, Achola, and Euler at the backs. Good things expected out of Check in the offensive line. Lomar at tight end, Dixon, Linder, Richling, Cox, Wigert, and Thomas filling out the offensive line.
It was a toss-up between Check and Sellen at quarterback. Check will get the call and the first give around the left side. That is Euler. Mike Quist on the tackle. Euler, the 306-yard man. 306 yards in one ball game this year. There's
South defensive line. Lang, Rehberg, Sheffers, and Monson up front. At the linebackers, Mueller, Herman, and Cotton. Herman, of course, the ringleader in that group.
Gain of 3, 2nd down, and 7 now for the North. This is George Achola.
Good job that time by number 95, as we just mentioned, Tim Herman on the pursuit and hitting the slot. He got a hand, delayed that ball carrier just enough to get some help. As we look at the defensive backs for the South squad, Atkinson, Quist, Young, and Lammel are the defensive backs. And again, if there's any weak part of the defensive team, I think, or on the South team, Mazurski feels, Coach Mazurski feels that perhaps the secondary just maybe not quite as strong as it needs to be. We'll see if Czech can exploit that secondary this afternoon.
3rd down and 4, the wind at his back. Let's see what Czech does. He is looking down the right side, has a man open. That's Terry Thomas.
Excellent throw toss that time by Paul Czech on the out pattern to Terry Thomas. Of course, Thomas, a speed merchant, a gold medal winner in the 200 and 400 meters this year in the state track meet. As we look at him there, and he's one happy young man. Good route that time, and Czech delivered the ball right on the break. So real good execution by the North squad on that first pass.
1st down and 10 now for the North at the South 37-yard line. The North very impressive in this opening drive. Paul Czech, the give to the fullback. Inside, that is Nolan Byer, and he is ridden back. Tom Shepard's on the tackle.
Tom Shepard's on that initial hit. He got about 3/4 of the hit. We'll see it again. Watch Shepard's come up, and boom, he just sticks him, Bob, just straight up away, and then he gets some help from Herman, and who's under there? Number 45, I think that's Cotton.
Nolan Byer, the Class D 8-man player of the year, the only Class D player on this North team. They'll call him back to the line of scrimmage. No gain. 2nd down and 10 now for the North. 3 setbacks behind Paul Czech. This is Achola. He slips at the line. Jeff Mueller on the tackle that time.
Little running room to the right side, but unfortunately George could not keep his feet, and he slipped down. He got a little help, I guess, from one of the defenders, but really had some room that had inside a good trap play out of that power I formation. Bob, you talked about Nolan Byer. He's going to be heading to Colorado State. Colorado State, of course, known for their passing game over the years, but they also had a great running back in Steve Bartolo over the years, All-American that rushed for over 1,000 yards each of the 4 years that he was a starter.
Paul Czech now on 3rd down and 9, looking across the middle, has a man open. That is his tight end, Danny Lohmeyer of Creighton Prep.
And they expected Lohmeyer to have a big day today if they were going to be successful. I should say head coach Bob Schnitzler indicated that. So
we might mention the team's held to a 4-down lineman, 3 linebacker situation. They take great advantage with the tight end coming across the middle here.
Lots of time for Czech, and there he makes his delivery. Good toss, and Lohmeyer wide open in that secondary. Of course, the secondary, as we mentioned at the top, a bit suspect on the afternoon. Czech's going to try to exploit it, and they're moving right down the field. They're inside the 25-yard line with 6:52 left in this ball game, or first quarter.
It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down, and trying the left side now inside the 5. Touchdown, Troy Euler.
Well, you talked about Troy Euler a little bit earlier. 306 yards in the Class C1 championship game, and Bob Schnitzler just really feels that Troy is just a quality football player. As we see the congratulations by his teammates right there. A little bit of some poor tackling that time on behalf of the South squad. We'll see it once again here. You'll see him break over the line of scrimmage. And we'll see a missed tackle right there. Another one there. Good strong running, I might add.
And a great block by Byer, the fullback, up in the middle that time.
You bet. And then kick him out, Troy. All right.
On to try the point after down, number 84. That is Jay Masick. It's good.
And that's Tom Marsacek, referee, and he's saying it's good, and bring me something to drink.
6 minutes, 44 seconds left in the first period. The North jumps out to a 7-0 lead. We talked to both coaches this morning. They stressed the importance of getting out on top. The North now with the obvious edge. They can dictate the flow of this ball game. That's exactly what Coach Schnitzler wants to do.
Bob, we talked a little bit earlier about Schnitzler's intention to try to spread that defense and attack to the outside and make their people pursue. He has combined a number of running plays to the outside, but most of his success has been up the middle thus far. So, you know, a bit of a diversification from his original intent, but it all works, and they're ahead in the ball game. That strength shows right now.
It looks like a good call on Schnitzler's part, starting Paul Czech at quarterback. Czech looking very impressive in that opening series.
You bet. Czech, actually all 3 quarterbacks, Czech, Svela, and Sellen, all excellent people.
And again, the ball is blown off the tee. Jay Masick will set it up again.
Somebody needs to hold that pig by the tail out there.
Not a bad idea. These kids don't want to be on the field any longer than they have to be.
And there it goes again.
I think Terry Thomas will put an index finger on that one.
Just don't hold it too tight, Terry. We'd hate to see I don't know if you've ever seen anything like that where the ball just kind of squibs off to the right and the guy's thinking, I didn't do it. It wasn't my fault.
It looks like something out of a Peanuts cartoon with Charlie Brown and Lucy. We'll try to avoid that. Jay Masick will kick it off with the wind at his back and a 7-0 lead. This one is driven down to the 4-yard line. Cutting up inside of the 20 is number 45. That is Curtis Cotton. Curtis might have let that ball go. He might have been in a better situation, but Curtis Cotton brings it up to the 17. Let's go down to Frosty Anderson and the man who just scored the touchdown. Frosty? Troy Euler has given his team a 7-0 lead. Tom Haas brings out the South team again. And again, the give to Steve Mitchell, and Mitchell is driven back. Number 62, Joel Clausen, the big man on the tackle.
And that's the play they opened up the ball game with in that first series again, Bob. And they picked up some good yardage that time, a good hit that time. We'll see this ball now. There's Mitchell taking that ball to the left, and boom, then straightened right up and going back, maybe only after, well, what, about a gain of a yard or two.
Now, I think the officials have called their first timeout of the ball game. This is the one rule change we talked about. An official timeout to give the kids a chance to rest, maybe a water break, and try to avoid some of this stifling heat today.
Bob, we used to call that the country club. When we go into fall camp, of course, it was always 2-a-day practices and heat that is very similar to what we have here. And we would have a country club break, a couple of shots of salt water, a little ice, and you'd be surprised how a couple of minutes and just a break like that will rejuvenate you. So as we look at the referees checking the huddles, and just to make sure the guys are pumping up the water tank there, and they're getting a good drink. So, you know, you got to do that on an afternoon like this.
Now, the theory has changed a little bit because in the days when you and I were in high school, Adrian, they didn't really give you that many water breaks. The coaches were not, they thought it made you soft if you got water.
Yeah.
That theory has really changed now.
Oh, it's not only has it changed because, well, we all know just how dangerous it can be not to have enough fluids in your system, and it's really worked now to that side.
Let's go to Frosty now on the sidelines with Stan Schluter. Frosty?
Squad, did you do anything in particular before the game to water these guys down?
Just keep them, reminding them to fill up on fluids.
All right. Are there any special additives in the water?
No,
All right. Do you limit them at all?
none. Just pure water and ice.
They're going to let them go all day?
Frosty, take a drink for us too, would you, buddy? 2nd down and 8 now for the South team. Haas motioning. That is Borman in motion. Haas looking to Borman across the middle, and Borman has it at the 38.
What a grab that time. And I tell you, number 32 for the Nord squad, and that's Doug Dennis, was on the verge of an interception for 6 points, but Borman somehow came up with the football. As we look at Mike Borman, number 89, just a big play football player. But number 32 again that time, Doug Dennis, just about a fraction away from an interception, and of course taking it down that left sideline and going in for a touchdown. Good time, good toss that time, I should say, by the quarterback Hasse, just to thread that needle and get the ball into Borman.
You don't look like one of those sandlot plays. You go down here, look over the middle, I'll throw the ball to you. Maybe an improvised play. 1st down and 10 now at their own 39-yard line. Again, Haas motioning to Steve Weiss. Haas the give now to Mitchell around the right side, ridden out at the 45.
You know, Bob, we talked with Coach Mazurski before the game got underway as we look at Mitchell coming back to the huddle. And he was, you know, he wanted to run the motion. He wanted to try to do some sort of trick plays to keep that defense off guard. As we see the last play here again, we'll see the motion. We'll see Weiss coming back. I guess maybe we won't.
But again, Mazurski stressed the key to the ball game for him is number 89, Mike Borman. He said there are 5 ways he can get Borman the ball. That's Borman 89 there on the left side of the screen. And for his South team to win, he feels Borman must have a good ball game. So the heat is on Borman. If he can handle it, the South could stay in this ball game.
Heat's on both ways, I guess.
The heat's on everybody today. 2nd down and 9 at the 46.
Look out.
That is Mitchell again in open field to the 30-yard line and driven down to the 24. Matt Bach of Fremont High got him from behind, or Mitchell might have gone all the way.
Matt Bach, Fremont High, 6 foot, 175-pound speedster, and he did. He ran him down from the backside. Otherwise, Mitchell was history, and 6 points in that south end zone. There we see it again. Good blocking up front, good clear hole, and then Mitchell on the way. But oops, here comes Bach.
This Mitchell's an impressive kid. He started out as a wide receiver. They switched him to running back. And Mitchell right now, the big play man for the South. First down and 10 at the North 24. Mitchell the eye back, and the give to Mitchell up the middle, nowhere.
That's called the old wall trick.
The entire front line, Engelbert led the charge that time.
Run him into the wall and see what happens. And
he's got to be a little winded after a run like that. I'm surprised they go back to him that quick.
Well, you see right now, Bob, he's headed off the field. He's going to take a blow. So he really has. He's played a whale of a football game this afternoon and spent some energy. They'll get him a blow and get him a drink of water. Little timeout. Good shot from ground level right there. It kind of gives you an idea of the size of that South Squad offensive line as we zero in on Haas.
Mitchell is out and Charles Carroll of Omaha South is in. Second down and 10. This is Carroll around the right side, nowhere.
They call Carroll the C-Train. He wants to be called the C-Train, 5'9", 180 pounds. He'll be going to University of Nebraska at Omaha. And Omaha South, as Bob mentioned.
Now, is that a technique or is his jersey too big? See the way he ties it up on the side there?
Yeah, I think he's two purposes for that usually is, you know, to keep cool on a day like today. It also gives the defense one less area to grab. So you want to, there are little tricks. Those running backs, you know, they got to do what they can to avoid linebackers.
You should know about that. It is second down, third down and 7. Around the left side, this is Gertis. Gertis trying to cut upfield, driven out of the 12.
Gertis was looking for a block that time by Mike Foreman, number 89, but he just couldn't get the angle without going ahead and constituting a clip. But Gertis did a good job just to get to the outside. Now watch Gertis go to his left here and watch the top of your screen. Watch the top of your screen. You'll see number 89, Mike Foreman, and he's trying to set up a block right there, but he's going to clip. If he goes ahead and block, he's going to clip. So Gertis has to just do what he can on his own, but he did a good job just to pick up the yardage that he did. Excellent effort that time by Gertis.
Smart play by Borman, good run by Gertis. First down and 10 now at the 13.
There's that motion we talked about.
Motion is Steve Weiss. Haas looking to throw. He's going to keep it and gets inside the 9.
Bob, I was looking that time. We talked with Mazurski about left to right motion and getting the ball to Borman. That was that left to right motion that we've been looking for. However, he just Haas just faked everybody out and took it around the left side. So you wait, though. We're going to see the motion, and then we're going to see the ball dumped to Borman. It'll happen.
We see a gain of 5 on that one. Second down and 5. Notice now in the North defensive backfield, number 20, Terry Thomas. A two-way starter for this North team. How long can he go? We'll keep an eye on Terry. A gain of 5 on that play. Split backs. Motion. Inside the give to 43. Chris Winscott.
I'll tell you what,
on the tackle.
Bob, on that play there, number 67, Sheppers, was the man in motion. It was almost the old refrigerator play once again. So we'll have to keep our eye peeled once more for that type of play as we see Herman going. Well, there goes Herman and Sheppers both off the field.
Winscott is just inches shy of a first down. It'll be a third down and inches. South calls a timeout to take a look at it. This Winscott kid is an interesting story. His father played at the very first Shrine Bowl back in 1959. He is the first legacy to ever appear in the Shrine Bowl game. Good to see him get in the game today.
That's really a neat deal. I know there was quite a story in the press about that, about how mothers reacted to sons being chosen for the Shrine Bowl. And Bob, we also have another feature this year. Reed Stevenson, who is one of the assistant coaches, his father was a coach in the Shrine Bowl a number of years ago in one of those early games. So we have you know, a moment of history in both of those families. Those are neat things about sports. Those are the human interest part of sports that I really like to see.
Reed's father, Bill Stevenson, was a coach and teacher at Lincoln Southeast when I was there. I had never met Reed Stevenson until today. And to see the resemblance, there is just no doubt in my mind. That is the way I remember his father, Bill, looking exactly like that. And it's almost frightening how much they look alike. There's Coach Mazurski.
Mazurski out there exhorting his players to get on with it. You know, they got a drive going here. They're down by 7 points. They can smell it. They're inside the 5-yard line. The ball on the 4. 3 minutes left here in this first quarter.
And it's been a good offensive ball game. The kind of game the fans like to see. Both coaches conscious of that. They want to win the ball game, sure, but they want to put on a good show for the fans, and they're getting their money's worth today.
And Bob, no mistakes really to speak of. You know, fumbles, interceptions, critical penalties at critical times. It's just been good, hard, solid football in spite of the weather.
It is third down and 1. Inside the 5, the pitch to Carroll around the right side. He gets nowhere. Check that. That is Cotton. That is C-Train, Curtis Cotton. Does he get the first down?
Well, what do you want to bet? Awfully close.
Take a look at it again. Curtis Cotton, C-Train, coming right at you.
Haas on the pitch, led by 67 against Shepherds for that refrigerator play, and he slipped. He lost his footing and he slipped, but nevertheless, it is a first down. First and goal at the 2 for the South squad.
First and goal, 4 shots to punch it in, about 2.5 yards.
Mitchell back in.
Shepard's in motion again. That refrigerator play. Mitchell touchdown.
And you should see the block that 67 Tom Shepard's made on that tackle. Incredible. He straightened him right up, and Mitchell was able to cruise into the end zone. What a block.
They're running their mini fridge play. Tom Shepard's.
Watch the block by the man in motion right there. 67. Maybe you'll see it. Well, yeah, you saw part of it anyway, but he just simply lined up and nosed up the hole, and then he lit up that defender in the hole and drove him back. So great job of blocking and great job of running by Mitchell.
Craig Foreman on to try the point after touchdown and tie this ball game up. Now Foreman kicking into the wind. It could be a bit of a trouble. Not this time. It's perfect. And we have a tie ball game. 2:38 left in the first quarter here at the 29th Shrine Bowl.
Well, the South answered. The North fired and the South answered. So we got ourselves a ball game, Bob, and I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see the South squad just didn't decide to cave it in this first quarter, and they went ahead and answered the North score, and you know, we got ourselves a decent football game here. So, and I think it'll get better.
Now this Mitchell kid is impressive. But we mentioned he came in as a wide receiver, converted to running back. Way to Northwestern University on a full ride football scholarship. And they say he can kick the ball. Coach Mazurski told me yesterday in practice, Foreman was consistently hitting 53-yard field goals, so he has no qualms about putting him in a long field goal situation. Keep that in mind later on.
Not only a fine kicker, but an all-state soccer player, too. So as we see the ball go down to about the 4.
Terry Thomas at the 5. Thomas cuts to the left, gets the block to the 25, and Thomas out at the 30.
Thomas lost his footing there at about the 30-yard line. He had some room to run to the outside, stepped out of bounds. Omaha Burke product, as you see. Terry Thomas going to Coffeyville Junior College this year and then on to Nebraska. Super State wide receiver from Omaha Burke and a speedster.
Terry Thomas to play for Coach Dick Foster down at Coffeyville, the school that produced, among others, Heisman Trophy winner Mike Rozier.
Fairly well-known individual here.
He can play a little bit. Paul Check has gone all the way quarterback for the North. Check the give to his high school teammate, Tim Yonk. The tackle by Tim Herman of Southeast.
Tim Yonk is, I tell you, I had a chance to meet him this fall after when the recruiting season was going on, Bob, and just what an excellent young man, excellent parents, just every reason to be proud of that young man, a National Honor Society member, and just a super young person.
And a gain of 3 yards on that play. 2nd down and 7 now. The North with the full house backfield behind Check. Check looking to pass. Looking for Lohmeyer, has him at the 49.
Great toss that time by Check, right on the money. He just threaded the needle. The Lohmeyer running a deep out pattern. They ran that full house backfield. That has a tendency to want to keep that defense in. We'll see it here again. Good ball handling right there by Check. Now watch him. Just straight on, a tight spiral, and Lohmeyer there to make a good grab.
This kid is your prototype tight end. 6'5", 235. If you're going to make a tight end, make him look like Danny Lohmeyer. 1st down and 10 at the 49. This is George Achola. Achola with running room to the 35 and down to the 32. Todd Young of Syracuse on the tackle.
Simple sweep play to the right side, and Achola then cutting it back, as a lot of great backs will often do. As we look at Achola, going to come out and take a break, get a glass of water, and rest a little bit. Achola moving from left to right on your screen. Watch the blocks up front. Just a good diversion block right there. A good kick to the outside by that lead back, and now he's going to cut it back. Number 45 for the South team, Curtis Cotton, overruns the play, and Achola picks up another 5 to 7 yards.
On a 1st and 10, the give is to Tim Yonk, and he loses a yard, maybe 2. Brian Monson on the tackle. We talked to Coach Schnitzler this morning, Adrian, and he mentioned that George Achola is not that fast. He's maybe a 4.5 or a 4.6. But he's a 4.5 going forward, a 4.5 going backward, right, and a 4.5 going sideways.
And we all want to keep in mind that Johnny Rogers really wasn't that fast either, straightaway time, but he could do the same thing. He could run 4 or 5 any direction that you wanted him to run. So And again, Achola's got a bit of a bad ankle, or he has had a bad ankle, so whether or not that's bothering him, I'm not sure, but he's running rather well this afternoon.
They give him no gain. This is Achola again around the right side, and Achola is ridden down at the line of scrimmage. Now, while we've got a second, let's go down to Frosty Anderson for kind of a unique observation on this ball game. Frosty?
Well, Tom, if you don't think these kids are intense about the game, I talked to Tom Haas coming off the field after that last drive. He did not want to talk. He didn't want anything to break his concentration. I talked to Tom Sheppers, the pulling guard that opened the hole on that. He was ready to go in on defense. These kids are here to play.
Frosty, I guess that's not too surprising. Knowing the mentality of Coach Mazurski, he runs this thing like a boot camp, and he's an intense guy, and I think that's reflected in his players.
They're doing a good job so far.
We have a tie ball game. 20 seconds now left in the first period. This will probably be the last play. A 3rd down and 11. Check looking to pass. Has a man down at the 19-yard line. That is number 86, Gary Crumlin of Madison.
Well, that's just a rocking chair catch is what that is. He lost his feet. He was on his hind end when he caught the ball, and what just excellent concentration that time to make that grab. And that's number 86, Gary Crumlin from Madison High School, a National Honor Society member, once again an all-state player, 5'10", 165 pounds.
I see Mr. Sheppers down on the field helping him spot the ball. This guy is everywhere.
Let's get him a shirt. Get him a striped shirt.
Let's get him a microphone. What the heck?
Yeah.
1st down and 10. Ball at the 18-yard line, and the clock runs out before the play can be run. So we have a tie ball game at the end of one period. And as expected, a hot, windy, humid day in Lincoln. But these kids are playing some great football. Hallcheck is still the quarterback. In motion is Troy Euler. Check looking to pass. Incomplete.
Good job that time by the South defense. Looking down there at the number 63, Ken Anthony. Going to go to University of Nebraska at Omaha this fall, but he was covering that receiver very nicely, and the ball was underthrown, I think, intentionally.
Let's go down to Frosty Anderson and talk to one of these South assistant coaches. Frosty?
South assistant Reed Stevenson. They've moved the ball pretty well both ways so far.
Well, we expected pretty much of an offensive game out of the North today. We need to get a little bit better drop out of our weak side linebackers on when we read pass. But I think once we get that straightened out, we'll be all right.
Sounds good.
Frosty, how is it down there? You keeping cool, buddy?
Not a problem. I'm used to this.
Okay. 2nd down and 10, and we have our first whistle of the ball game. We just saw our first incomplete pass. We have our first whistle. Maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe this game will slow down.
I think you're right. That is the first flag, the first infraction.
Somebody jumped on the North team. That'll back him up. You see number 95, Tim Herman of Lincoln Southeast.
He's directing traffic out there. Boy, Tim Herman, what a piece of work he is. 6'6", 250 pounds, middle linebacker. Bob, I tell you, did you have anybody like that at Southeast when you went to school there?
No, sir.
No.
I was one of the bigger kids, and I didn't even play.
You had somebody 6'6" and 250 at Southeast at that time. There was something wrong.
The biggest kid I saw play high school football, Mike Fultz, was a fullback at Lincoln High.
Yep.
Those were the days.
You bet.
Check now on 2nd down and 15. It's incomplete to Thomas.
Tough pattern for Check to throw. He's thrown against that stiff wind. That's a really long and deep out. As we watched that ball go right off to the outside, and he looked like he was laboring somewhat to get the ball out there. We'll see it again here on the sprint out. We see motion left. Now watch him come to just a little bit to the right, and he just labored and sort of sidearmed it, Bob, to kind of struggle to make that throw, and a little bit off the mark.
Don't be too surprised if Dan Sellen comes in at quarterback in the next series. Maybe give Check a blow on the sidelines. 3rd down and 15 now at the 23. Check passing again. There's a flag downfield, incomplete. Nice hit.
That was number 37, Mark Christ from Bellevue East, that came up to deliver the blow on the receiver that time, number 24, George Achola, out of the backfield. Or was that 44?
That's 44.
44, Scott Hammonds from Columbus, Nebraska. Nice little pop.
Let's check the flag. I believe it's holding on the North team.
Mike Herman again assisting in the call with Marcicek.
On the offense, it is refused 4th down.
4th down now and 15. Will they kick? Will they go for it?
A lot of comment.
Keep in mind now they're going into the wind, so It'll be a tough kick, but they will try the kick. It'll be Jay Masick. The ball will be spotted at the 30-yard line. It'll be a 40-yard kick. He's off the left hash mark into the wind. And it's no good.
Not long enough, not high enough, and not accurate enough. Stiff wind, hot day, real tough kick even from that distance.
The South team will take over at the spot of the ball. It'll be first down and 10 at their own 23-yard line. It's a 7-7 ball game, 11:40 left here in the second period in Lincoln. We mentioned a lot of kids will play in this ball game. We'll try to keep you abreast of who is in and who is out. It looks like Haas is still in at quarterback for the South. Tom Haas has gone all the way. First down and 10. Haas, the inside handoff to 89. That is Borman. They need to get the ball to him to win this ball game.
Bob, and that was one of the 5 ways that you talked about earlier to get the ball to Borman. It was one of those shuttle pass plays where Borman lines up tight on the outside or right behind that outside lineman, and then the quarterback makes that drop. It looks like a pass. You get the rush to the inside from the defensive line, and then he simply shuttles it, or just that little pitch to Borman to the inside.
Borman now split wide to the left on second down and 9. Haas rolling and slipping at the 20. Tim Herman down to the sidelines with our Frosty Anderson. Frosty?
Tim Herman from Lincoln Southeast. You've been stopping them up in the middle. They're pretty good.
Yeah, they haven't been doing too much in the middle. We've been pretty much stacking and been keen on Acola and everybody else because they knew they were going to be running to Acola.
It was hot in camp both weeks. What was it like?
Real hot. It's been just like this, but only this turf's a little bit hotter than playing out in regular grass.
Plenty of water keep you okay?
Yeah, they've been keeping us watered down pretty much.
All righty, they're stopping them up the middle.
Start calling him Mr. Clean.
Boy, I tell you, I love that hair. Haas looking to Borman, and he has it at the 40-yard line. What a catch on a third down and 9 play.
Incredible timing on Borman's part, Bob. The ball underthrown, but he had enough sense to stop, come back, and make the toss. Now we're going to see Haas take the drop. Now watch Borman at the bottom of your screen. There he stopped. He had enough presence of mind to stop and come back and make that grab. Coach Mazurski told me yesterday that Borman is probably one of the finest football players he's ever seen at the high school level, anywhere he's ever coached. So, and that play evidence of that.
First down and 10 now at their own 39-yard line. Haas looking to pass again. The delay to number 83. That is Bryce Rivers of Southeast down to the 35, tackled by Kirk Coleman. They are opening up this ball game in the second period.
Bryce Rivers, of course, going to Dartmouth this fall. Again, a National Honor Society member and another Southeast grad. Got to be proud of him, Bob.
Tell you, these Southeast kids looking good today, huh?
Yes, sir.
I wonder if he shares his friend Herman's haircut. You know, when I was at school, boy, we wouldn't do that. That was still when the Beatles were popular, though, so I predate these guys a bit. First down and 10 at the 35-yard line. Good pickup. And Haas this time keeps it on the ground.
Charlie Carroll, I think, on the call that time. And we're going to see a little extracurricular flag right there.
Yeah, Mazurski says it's on them. Mazurski sending in Steve Wise. Let's check the call.
Personal foul.
A personal foul on the north. Here's a ground level shot. Boy.
Good shot from the ground camera. Carroll going to sneak up inside. Look at that activity. What a great shot by our crew. Whoa, oh, here we come. Here we come.
Spot the foul. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's that late hit just coming up right there on the backside. Probably that cornerback on the backside coming in just a little bit late. And now the ball is going to be spotted. It looks like, where are we going? About the 10? About the 11?
We're going about the 15, it looks like.
Yeah, all right.
16-yard line, maybe first down and 10 for the South. They're moving it down the field. We wanted an offensive ball game, Abe. We got
it. And it's somewhat of a surprise because a lot of strength of that North team defense. And the South, of course, well, between Borman and Haas, that's where all the action has been. There's Carroll again.
Charles Carroll tries the right side, gets maybe 4 yards. The big center that time with a good block, that is John O'Gorzley of Bellevue West. O'Gorzley made my all-name team this year, by the way. Mattingly on the tackle. Mattingly, of course, Grand Island Northwest, headed to UNO on a football scholarship. pickup of 5, 2nd down and 5 at the 11. Tom Haas has gone all the way at quarterback. Haas rolling out to his left side. He may keep it. Haas tucks it under and down to the 10.
Good job that time down there by number 36 for the North team, and that was Kirk Coleman playing linebacker. He's from Omaha Northwest, a superstater from Northwest. We'll see Haas now come to the left of the screen. He's going to fake to the inside, looking at that bootleg play. I'm not sure that it's really a bootleg play. Maybe just set it. Oh, Aries fakes the pass. And there we see Kirk Coleman just stay right on him. That's a tough play for a linebacker to make. That bootleg play, one of the toughest plays for a linebacker to defense against. Coleman did a good job, and it just ran Haas right down to the ground.
Coleman stayed at home and limited that to a 1-yard gain. 3rd down and 4 now at the 10. Haas looking for the quick hitter outside. That is Borman, incomplete.
And I tell you, Borman had him turned around, and that was a really well executed pattern by Borman. The ball just a little bit overthrown, and we look at Tom Haas, and he's just a little bit disappointed in himself that he overthrew it. So now watch him get him turned around now. He's got him turned, and now he's got him on about a step and a half.
The ball was not thrown that well. I think Borman adjusted well.
Right.
And I'm amazed Mattingly could keep up with Borman. Mattingly did a nice job there. If the ball was maybe a yard more inside, I think Borman had it.
Maybe about 6 inches lower, Bob, and they got ourselves a score. So
Borman on for the field goal now. They'll try it from the 17-yard line with the win. 27-yarder is up and wide. And it stays 7-7, 8:02 left in the 2nd period.
Well, that'll probably pump that North team up a little bit to hold on that drive. The North team of defense doing a fine job.
Of Blair High School.
Selling a straight A student at Blair High School. Again, a National Honor Society member, all-conference quarterback. Going to be doing his deal at UNO this year. Sandy Buddha country.
Dan Sellen. It was a toss-up between Check and Sellen. They said they would both play a lot. Let's see how Sellen does. Going into the win now. 2nd down and 6 at his own 24. The give is to Euler around the left side. And Lang on the tackle. Scott Lang of Papillion La Vista. Word from the sideline says that the South team will also change quarterbacks next time. We can maybe anticipate ahead for you and say either Anderson or Young. James Anderson of Millard South. Possibly Todd Young of Syracuse High will go in at quarterback the next time up for the South. 3rd down and 4 now for the North. From their own 26. There's a whistle as Euler goes in motion.
You know, Bob, what they might have done on that motion is adjust that defense and adjust out of that 4-3 defense. And the indication from the North squad is the penalty is on the South, and there was no movement, of course, and it looks like it might have been well, they're talking offsides there, but I thought perhaps with that motion and they adjusted on that right side that they might have gone out of their alignment, and they're supposed to keep that 4-3 alignment on the afternoon.
It's tough for a lot of these kids because most high schools will play a 3-down and a 3-down and a 4-back or a basic 3-4, and so adjust to the 4-3. A lot of guys are out of position. They're used to playing head up with the center, and they don't get to do that here, and it takes a bit of adjustment. We may see a few calls that way. But it gives the North team a 1st down and 10 at their own 31. Euler in motion again. Selling the pitch back to Achola, and Tim Herman leads the stop.
Tim Herman there to make that initial hit, and then he got some follow-up out of number 67 for the South team. And again, Tom Sheppers, the young man we've been talking about leading that block up inside the 5-yard line for that touchdown. And Sheppers has really had himself quite an afternoon. We're going to have to keep him in mind here for you know, the most valuable player honors this afternoon, Bob.
At least the most versatile player.
You bet.
Again, a timeout on the field, an official's timeout to give the kids a chance to rest. Achola on 2nd down and 8 across the 40 to the 42. Tom Lammel on the tackle.
Collision there between Achola and Herman, both Nebraska scholarship players, will be teammates this fall.
Achola near the 1st down marker. There we go. A little plug for the home folks.
I like that. I like that umbrella even better than the other one.
A patron of Nebraska ETV. You too can have an umbrella if you support Nebraska ETV. A pause for the cause. First down and 10 now from the 42-yard line. In motion is Byer. The give is to Euler. He's ridden down to the 45 by Herman. This Herman is all over the place.
Herman doing a good job. Number 61, Dean Sanford, in there again, going to Nebraska this fall. And that South team front has really played well. The front line and the linebackers have done an excellent job this afternoon, and they've taken the pressure off that secondary, which Coach Mazurski, of course, felt perhaps would be part of the weak link in the defense. So as we look at number 61 there, Dean Sanford, he's from, again, Lincoln. What is this? Everybody's from Southeast this afternoon, including the play-by-play guy.
I tell you,
we got to do something about that, folks.
I'm doing my best not to be biased.
Now, there's one good way to keep the body temp down with that cold towel on the head and keep that sun off your noggin.
Here's Achola. Maybe 2 yards. Scott Lang on the tackle. We mentioned the suspect, or at least not as strong, secondary for the South. Part of the reason is the loss of Leotis Flowers. Flowers will not play in this ball game, and so some players who may have been slated for duty in that defensive backfield for the South were shifted to running back to take up the slack for Flowers. And because of that, not the depth of player they may need in the South secondary.
But you know, so far, Bob, I'm impressed with the way that secondary has come on and played. They've done rather well, in spite of the rap, so to speak, that they've taken this afternoon, primarily by me.
3rd and 4. Euler, following his blockers, will not get the first down. Let's give credit now to that secondary. It is John Atkinson, Todd Young, Mark Quist, and Tom Lammel doing the job as we look at Troy Euler.
Sort out things. Euler, I think you mentioned earlier, did you not, about his effort in the Class C1 championship game? 306 yards in that game.
The C1,
my word.
C1 Player of the Year wearing that Notre Dame Golden Dome.
Yep.
We're taking a timeout on the field again, I believe. Another water break timeout. 3:55 left in the. George Achola gets the first down across the 45. Matt Rayberg on the tackle.
Curtis Cotton that time roaming around there from the linebacker spot, and he was looking to make the stop. But now watch to the right side here. You'll see number 45 get boomed right there, and then Achola takes it up to the inside and picks up that first down. First and 10 now at about the 44-yard line of the South team.
That's your classic power eye that Coach Devaney brought in here. Nolan Byer with a good block that time. First down and 10 at the 44.
Achola, that type of back, you just give him a little bit of a crease, and he's going to pick up that yard or two. Good reverse.
Here's Achola and Herman. Hello.
Meet you in September. A little bit early.
Adversaries now, teammates later on the Nebraska freshman team.
Tim Herman, 6'6", 250, middle linebacker for the South squad. George Achola, running back, 5'11", 192. What a collision.
Ooh,
he got him with the right arm only.
Get that phone call, would you?
Yeah, it's like he gets up and he's talking out his ear hole because his helmet's all turned around sideways. I've seen that play a couple of times.
Oh, I tell you, George is still in that ball game, though.
Yep, tough kid.
It is Paul Check back at quarterback. Check looking for Thomas out of bounds.
You know, now Check has delivered the ball the last 3 or 4 times with a sidearm delivery, and he looks like he's laboring a little bit. I don't know if he's got a problem with the arm or not, but perhaps that's something Frosty Anderson down on the sideline might be able to check for us as the afternoon moves on. Perhaps not.
Paul Check, of course, played on Schuyler State Championship football team. He's 6'3", 210. Your, again, prototype size for a quarterback. Now look at his right hand. He's got something in his hand. His mouthpiece is there, obviously. It looks like he may have a banged-up finger on his right hand. That may be part of the reason. He was holding a finger in there. See his middle finger?
Yep.
That could be part of the problem. We'll check that. 3rd down and 11. And the give is to Yonk. Yonk looking good, and Yonk has a first down inside the 34.
Well, that's a good bit of running by Tim Yonk and brought down by Mark Quist, number 37 for the South from Bellevue East. But Yonk carried Quist for about 7 yards on that play. We get a good shot there at Timmy, and he's coming to Nebraska.
Watch
See the blocking up front. Good hold of the inside. Now move it to the outside. Good running. Good strong running up there. Now watch Quist. There's about 1, 2, 3, about 4 yards, I guess. Timmy picked up, running back out of Schuyler, Nebraska, Class B Player of the Year. Led the state last year in rushing with 2,175 yards. And that's a good piece of work for a high school running back.
You know, I can remember in high school when the barometer of a great running back was a 1,000-yard season. The best back we had at Southeast when I was there was a kid named Egbert Thompson.
I remember him well.
Egbert gained 920 yards and made All-State with his 920 yards. A 2,000-yard rusher was just unheard of in high school.
Unbelievable, you bet.
First down 10 at the 33. Georgia Chola on the right side. There's a flag down. Herman again on the tackle.
You know, Bob, this will date me, of course, but back in my high school days, we didn't even keep track of yardage. Play up to the inside this time. And that was Georgia Chola moving it inside. The play is going to come back, however. It's going to be stepped back, and it looks perhaps like it's going to be a major penalty on that play. Oh, probably a holding penalty.
Preliminary call is a hold, Adrian.
Right.
You're right. Chola taking his hat off, taking a blow down the field.
It's either that or the referee is just going to flat out cheat on the whole deal.
Holding on the offense. Repeat second down.
All that work for nothing.
Chola's coming off the field. He said, my word, guys, don't do that. I got to get beat up on that play, and we lose 15.
I tell you, there'll be words. There'll be words.
Yep.
Paul Check.
No stakes for the line tonight.
Nolan Byer, the fullback. The fake to Yonk. Check looking outside to Byer. Byer to the 40 and the 35 and out to 34.
I tell you, that's a great grab that time by Nolan Byer, one of those out front fingertip grabs as we look at Nolan Byer, running back out of Sydney. Nolan, of course, we'll see the play again here, the play going to the left side. Now watch this grab by Byer. Good job that time by Check to look off. Now watch there. Good grab.
Yeah.
Just out fingertip grab. Those are tough catches, folks. They really are.
Keep in mind, this is an 8-man high school football player. This is a whole new game to him. But this Byer's doing a great job. 2-time 8-man player of the year. Paul Check looking to pass. Going down the middle for Terry Thomas.
Oh,
touchdown. I tell you, this kid Thomas can play. He was double covered by Atkinson and Young. He took it away from both of them. On the way down, hangs onto the ball.
There you see him splitting both Atkinson and Young right in the end zone and coming up with the football. As we mentioned earlier, gold medalists in the 200 and 400 meters in the state high school track meet this year. Terry going to Coffeyville, and hopefully then we'll end up here at the University of Nebraska. So he's got that speed to burn, and that's the kind of thing that gets plays like that made.
Masick out of Sellen's hold. It's up and good. 1 minute, 36 seconds left in the first half. The North takes a 14-6 lead here in the 29th Shrine Bowl.
Good look at Thomas right there.
You know,
off.
Terry Thomas, not a shy guy. He knows we're going to be watching him. He'll take the hat off. Get a good look at him. Good-looking kid. What a player.
Good shot there, Terry. Zero in. Terry wants to be a criminal justice major.
I saw him in the state track meet, and again, a very impressive overall athlete.
That's what he does. That's what he is.
You bet. Masick into the wind. It'll be out of bounds. They'll do the whole thing over again.
There's Terry and Masick, Terry Thomas and Jay Masick talking once again, and Terry saying, Jay, kick it straight this time, partner.
Think about the defensive lineman who had to run down and chase that thing. They're thinking, oh, geez, a whiz.
And, Bob, the worst duty on a football team is right what you're looking at right now. Although the rules have been changed now as far as blocking goes to protect the kind of things that happened, you know, years ago when there were no rules as far as blocking, and that is blocking below the waist on the kickoff. And there were some real nasty collisions I recall being not only involved in them but causing a few.
Now, as you went on in your years at Lincoln, when you became a player of some renown, Coach Devaney didn't put you on kickoff teams anymore, did you?
Yeah, there were times.
Didn't you try to talk him out of that?
Yeah, a lot of times. I tried to talk him out of it, but it didn't work.
I guess that's a comment on your status. He needed someone like you in there.
Yeah, he just needed somebody that was a little bit crazy. And before every game, you just kind of take that crazy hat and put it on. But the kickoff duty is not very much fun, especially if you're the wedge buster.
Masick into the wind, and again, it's going out of bounds. Oh, boy.
Well, drop back and pass. Oh.
Well, they'll bring the whole thing back again. They tried at the 40. They tried at the 35. They'll try again at the 30.
Let's see. I think we're getting word from the sideline to roll it down.
Of course,
Poor
it
Jay.
is downhill from north to south there.
See, and what he's doing now, he's moving over to the right hash mark. His ball, of course, has that natural tendency to go from right to left. He's going to have now 2/3 of the field to work with from right to left and hopefully keep the football in. And I'll lay you 10-1, the ball goes off the right sideline, this kick.
You know, I can't see a flag from where we're sitting, but I wonder if the wind is hooking that ball when it gets up there. It tends to swirl here in the stadium a little bit, and that could also be a factor. Watch, like you say, he puts it up, the wind will die. Bang, it's going the other way.
Okay, Jay, number 3 is a charm, buddy.
This is it, buddy. From the 30. It's staying in this time, folks.
I'll tell you what.
And it's short. And it's going out. Nope. Whoa!
Whoa! Mark Mattingly delivers the blow, and that was number 65, I believe, Scott Lang, as I recall, or was that Tim Timmerman?
I think that was Tim Timmerman, the center from Beatrice. Maybe a lineman's dream to actually run that ball, but a lineman's nightmare with that kind of stick.
And it's a fortunate thing that that he fielded the ball, because Mattingly was coming down, and Bob, as you know, that's a live ball and it can be advanced. And had he not fielded the ball, Mattingly was right there, perhaps to take that ball and move it on in. So good job, good alert play by both people.
I tell you, a great spot now. First down at 10 at the 30. Haas is still in there. Haas is going up top, looking for Borman. It's intercepted. Number 28, Matt Bach of Fremont, with the pick at the 29.
Good job that time by the center fielder or the strong safety, Matt Bach. Matt going to Colorado State again, along with one of his teammates, Fremont High, 6 foot tall, 175 pounds. Haas going long that time. He threw the ball into a crowd. As we watch again, now watch Bach just simply step up. He's playing that deep slot, and he just a very, very easy play actually for him. He had a hand on him that time by Borman, but he just had control of the football. And now the North squad's got 1 minute and 20 seconds to do something here to try to move that football down the field.
And the clock is running. Selin at quarterback. To give on the left side to George Achola. You know, if we're to give a prize for a guy who came the farthest for this ball game, it's got to go to George Achola, a native of Nairobi, Kenya. That's a road
right.
trip.
That's longer than a $5 cab ride, too, I tell you.
The clock is still running. 48, 47, 46 seconds. Power I formation behind Selin. They may be content to run it out. The give inside and a flag, and words are being exchanged. That was Euler on the carry. And not only the field is hot, the tempers are hot.
A little headgear reaction that time, and I'm not sure if he had the face mask or not, but that was Scott Lang, number 65 on the tackle. And I think you're absolutely correct, Bob. They have elected now to run that clock out as we look at Scott Lang. Good hit that time by Scott Lang. Scott out of Papillion La Vista, 6'1", 195, all-conference player.
You know, if you are North coach Bob Schnitzler, of course, you've got a 14-7 lead. Don't run your kids down any more than you have to. Just run the ball and see what happens. Of course, it brings to mind the classic play from the Eagles-Giants game back in '78.
Yep.
The Giants have the ball game won. All Pisarcik has to do is hand off to Zonka. They've won the ball game. They're just going to fall on it. He fumbles. Herman Edwards picks it up. And the miracle in the Meadowlands beats the Giants. 32 seconds left in the ball game. First down. And now with field position, Selin gives to Achola. And Achola ridden back. Herman again on the tackle, and they're taking a timeout.
North going ahead, Selin that time, calling a timeout. Here comes Bob Schnitzler. They're going to talk over the play. Watch Selin that time. He's on the, almost looks like he's faking the drop back pass. Achola now, some fancy Dan footwork, but it's not going to work. And there's Tim Herman once again. I tell you, those two might room together this fall. They've met so much this afternoon on the field, they might want to be roommates.
They've got a few wounds to heal, though. They shift into a wide set. They put Euler in motion. Check looking to throw. Looking down the middle to the right side. It's tipped away by Achola, or from Achola, by Tom Lammel.
That time, number 45 for the South squad, Curtis Cotton on the coverage. Curtis really didn't get deep enough on the drop, and that's why that play was almost successful. He needed to get back about another 5 yards. He got some help from that secondary man back there. There's Cotton on your screen, but he looks like he's really, he's looked like he fatigued, quite frankly, in moving the way he's moving. And there you see him there with the hands on the knees. I think he's a little bit tired, so he wants to get it over, get it in the clubhouse or the locker room, and get a little drink and refresh, and then come out and finish up this ball game.
3rd down and 10 to the 47, 16 seconds left. Check is chucking it again, this time to Euler around the right side, out of bounds, tackled by Lang. Out of the 48, a loss of 1.
Good job that time by Scotty Lang. Once again, Scotty from Papillion La Vista, and he's covered a lot of ground this afternoon, and showed excellent pursuit that time with great speed to the outside to pick up that screen pass. There he is, 65. Looks like he's a little warm too.
4th down and 11 at the South 48. Question now is, what will the North do? 9 seconds left in the ball game, or the first half, I should say. Everybody's thinking locker room. We talked to Coach Mazurski. He says they do have a punt block in their arsenal. Punting for the North team is number 18. I believe that's Drahota. Troy Drahota from Norfolk.
Fake punt.
And they're faking it.
Oh. That's Matt Bach, number 28 on the carry on the fake, and that'll run that clock. Well, no, there's going to be time for one play. I'll tell you, the play would have been successful and might have gone for considerable yardage, but number 54 on the play, and that's Luke Lovejoy. We'll see it again. Now watch to the right of your screen. Bach is going to run into 54 right there. Now, had he been able to get outside of that block by Lovejoy, number 54, he would have picked up great yardage to the outside, but that'll never happen. We'll never know what happened on that play.
First down and 10. The clock runs out. The South does not get off a play, and the North goes to the locker room leading 14-7 at the half on a hot Craig Foreman with the wind at his back and the ball off the tee.
With a name like Frosty on a day like today, you got to be cool.
Look at it.
102.
As Keith Jackson would say, "Ho, Nelly." Now on the field, add about 40 degrees to that. Right on the surface, they took the temp yesterday. It was 141 degrees.
And as if you've joined us late, folks, at pregame, the temperature was 132, and that was about 2 hours ago.
And we are underway in the second half. That is 46. Nolan Byer dragged down inside the 10.
Great job that time by Chris Winscott. Chris, again, part of that family tradition. His dad, Tom Winscott, played here in this first Shrine Bowl game. Of course, that game at Rosenblatt Stadium in Omaha. Chris ran him down from the backside. He ran the ball carrier down from the backside. That's just flat good pursuit. That's all you can call that, is just flat good pursuit. Chris out of Plattsmouth, Nebraska, 6'1", 190 pounds.
They've got that North team in a hole now. First down and 10 from their own 8. Paul Check is still the quarterback. Check played the majority of the first half. Dan Sellen played some. Dave Svela of Lincoln South, or Lincoln Northeast rather, did not play at all. But Check of Schuyler comes out. Power eye. Achola up the middle across the 20, and he fumbles. It's still bouncing around. Who's got it? It looks like the South. It looks like Tim Herman.
I think that's exactly right. It looked like Timmy was late coming in, but he got the football. So there we go. Here comes 6'6" and 250 out of that pile. A happy young man right there. A happy South team.
Take a look at it again. George Achola on the carry. Achola cuts upfield and loses it.
Achola breaks over the right side of the line. Good blocks that time up front. Now run to daylight, and then he just simply trying to make that extra yardage through that ball carrying arm out to the front, and he lost control of the football. And Herman, of course, the man of the hour. The South recovers, and they own it now at the 29-yard line of the North team.
Credit Todd Young with the strip of the ball. Anderson, now the quarterback for Millard South, bobbles the snap, hangs on for his life, and gains a yard or two. And look at the tempers flaring again.
Well, that's a little howdy-do from Doug Dennis, number 32.
And Blair Brown. Now watch the bobble snap. His first snap at quarterback, you're bound to get a few missed calls with Ryan Timmerman, the center of Beatrice. These kids have had limited practice time together. That is Anderson's first snap in the ball game. But I tell you gain 4 yards on a bobbled play. Something is going right.
Put it in the playbook.
Second down and 6 at the 25. Anderson inside to Gertis. Gertis down to the 21, maybe the 20-yard line. Doug Dinas on the tackle.
Tackle led by 72, Bill Duncan.
And Bill Duncan. 3rd down and 2.
We should mention Bill Duncan took the place of Darrell Lisi, fine football player, scholarship player coming to Nebraska from Omaha Creighton Prep. Had a bit of an injury problem with the leg and decided would not be feasible for him to play in this game, so Duncan took his spot.
Inside handoff that time to Gertis. They ran that Shepherds around play again. 67 Shepherds, their big guy. They pull him around almost like a guard in motion. And Matt Bach comes up to make the tackle on Gertis.
And the other item of that offensive play is, as we see right now, you'll see that Tim Herman's also in the game, and he's leading that offside block also. So they've got Shepherds and Herman both, just two huge people that are very quick and very fast, leading that play up to the inside. They pick up 7 yards, and they pick up a 1st down. Very effective play calling by Lazinski and good execution.
Shepherds in motion again, coming right at you. The give this time to Gertis around the left side on a 1st down and 10 from the 14. Check that. That is Charles Carroll now, backing up Gertis. Carroll, number 23 of Omaha South. I tell you, whatever Mazurski said at halftime, it must have worked. They capitalized on that fumble. They're coming right at you.
They're moving.
Now, 89, Borman of the ball game. We talked about Borman a lot in the 1st half. Mazurski feels he is one of the keys. Keep an eye on him now on a 2nd down and 8 at the 12.
Herman and Schwepper's going out right now.
Borman will split wide to the right. 25, Gertis is the fullback. 23, Carroll is the I-back. This is Carroll. Inside the 10, down to the 8.
Let's take the C train.
They are coming right at you, sports fans. You're looking at number 25, Scott Gertis, the Auburn fullback, 5'10", 180, bound for Peru State. A triple threat, football, track, and basketball at Auburn High. 3rd and 4 at the 8. Anderson, the quarterback. Anderson, the give to the C train. Carroll down to the 5.
He just keeps picking up, you know, a yard or two. He might, well, he's encroaching on the 1st down right now. Looks like it's going to be about, it'll be about 4th and 1, perhaps.
Michael Ware on the tackle that time. They list Carroll officially at 5'9" and 190. Now that's, I think, with a roll of quarters in each pocket, soaking wet with his helmet.
Well, you know, Bob, Carroll is the state powerlifting champion for his classification. As we look at a few of the sunbathers out there, and I tell you what, as hot as it is, well, that's dangerous, I guess. But at any rate, Carroll, of course, the state powerlifting champion in his classification. So maybe that 190 classification is not too far off the mark. He's a good, strong runner, and he's picked up good, tough yardage the last 2 plays up to the inside, even though he, like we mentioned, he only goes 5'9". But he is, you know, he is a suspected 190. Let's put it that way.
Coach Mazurski talking to his troops out of the field. Of course, the coaches in Nebraska can come out in the field and talk to the kids. They take Weiss out and put Shepherds in. 67 to Shepherds. He's the mini fridge they run on that guard follow play. Now Shepard's going back out. But look at Mazurski, very animated guy. See his head bobbing up and down, exhorting his troops.
Boy, he is an animated guy. As we mentioned at the top of the show, he runs a tight ship, but the kids really respect him and they respond to him. Now let's take a look at the alignment. You're going to see Tim Herman lined up at that offside back. Over on the right-hand side of your screen, that's big Tim Herman. 4th down and 1, C-Train into the line near the 1st down. Don't know that he got it. He looked to be short to me from this angle.
Charles Carroll stacked up. They'll unpile him. They'll spot it. And we'll see. Coach Mazurski mentioned that he's very confident in his kicker, Craig Foreman. Of course, he's confident in his line, too. And already a gamble here in the 1st half. On a 4th down and 1.
I think they're short. I think they're short by the length of the ball, perhaps.
Yeah, we'll take a look. Yes, sir. They are short. The North holds, and they will take over. Now, what will Coach Schnitzler do? Let's go down to the sidelines.
Got on this time.
Power eye right, 55 blast.
Which is right up the middle.
Yep, should be on the right side.
All right, they're going to test those linebackers again.
I love those calls like that. 55 blast. You know, it's football is the old violent sport, but when you call a play a 55 blast, it's connotes something even more than that.
Watch 46, Nolan Byer. He is your fullback. And George
Oh,
Ochola. Oh,
what a
boy.
hit.
Matt Rayberg with the tackle. Good job by Rayberg, shooting through the line that time.
Okay, Coach Schnitzler, what's on this time?
We're going to run a trap here.
Left or right?
We're going to run it right up the middle.
Again, they're going to challenge those linebackers.
All right.
I tell you what, Matt Rayberg was up to that challenge last time because he simply spirited away the ball carrier, made a good quick move of the line, and made the hit to actually lost yardage on the play. So good job that time. Let's watch again.
Full house backfield. That is Byer up the middle on the trap. Nowhere. Rayberg again on the tackle. What's this time, Frosty?
50 on short motion. Let's go.
Which way does this go?
It's going to be a 50 pass with short motion.
They're going to open it up. 3rd down and 12 of their own 2. It's a gutsy play right here.
You bet. Short motion. They'll be looking to dump the ball very quickly to get that play out so the receiver can get going and run with it. You won't be looking at a long time back there unless he gets hot pursuit or there's a breakdown up front.
Terry Thomas to the wide side. It is Lohmeyer, the tight end, on the near side. It is Euler in motion. Check the quarterback. Looking for Euler across the middle. He has Lohmeyer and overthrows him.
Breakdown on the play. I think number 82 for the North team that time, Danny Lohmeyer, really stopped running his route. And I think he should have gone ahead and finished out his route. Perhaps he would have been able to catch up with the football, but he quit on the route. He stopped on the route. A confusion or a breakdown on the execution.
Now, Coach Mazurski told us they do have a punt block in on the South team. This would be the place to use it. They'll be punting out of their own end zone. The ball is spotted on the 2.
The thing you do now, Bob, is you weigh that against the wind and where you're going to get the ball in field position, and you want to make sure you don't interfere or foul the kicker. So we'll see. They got the block on.
Drahota gets it away. It's not a good kick.
Get away from it.
They will let it bounce, and it finally is called dead at the 16-yard line. A 14-yard kick.
Kurt Coleman that time stopping that ball, number 36 for the North squad, and downing it right there. So, boy, if you ever wanted a gift, you got it. And the South team is knocking right there on the door, and they can smell that 6 points just about ready to be rung up on the board. So we'll see what happens here as who we got a quarterback in there now.
Anderson in there again.
Jamie's back in there. James Anderson.
2 big breaks for the South. A fumble and a bad punt. Anderson on the option will look to pitch to Mitchell, and he's ridden out at the 18. Oh, boy, that's a late one.
You bet. And that's one of those very, very dangerous plays. Of course, it's too late to develop that play. That play has to happen a lot quicker. You got to maintain that relationship. But what happened there, he got hung up. And then if he could have pitched the ball more quickly and maybe got him outside. We'll see it again. And watch, he'll get hung up here. Almost brought down. Now 1, 2, 3. Okay, about 4 counts. That gives the defenders time to come on up and make the hit as number 28 for the North squad comes up. Matt Bach, again, having a fine afternoon. He comes up to make the hit. Matt headed for Colorado State this fall.
No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10 from the 19.
There's the motion.
That is Borman. Anderson looking to Borman just behind him.
And the play broke down primarily, Bob. James Anderson just got a little too anxious. He wanted to run the play too quick. He saw Borman wide open there, rushed it a little bit, and of course the pass was a little bit high and overthrown to the outside, I guess. So too bad. Borman was wide open on the play.
Good look at James Anderson. 6 feet, 173. Millard South headed to Dana College. 3rd down and 10 still at the 19. Borman in the slot. Anderson, the shovel to Borman. All kinds of room. And they ride him down to the 16, and there's a flag.
Joel Clausen that time on the hit, number 62 for the North team, as we take a look at Borman, and he doesn't believe it.
Looks like motion against the South. We saw that play to Borman in the first half. I'm kind of surprised they'd run it again. The North got a good look at that. They knew how to defend it. I would imagine they will decline the penalty here. That was a 3rd down and 10 to the 19, gained only 2.
Good call, Mr. Cullinan.
Thank you very much. Hey, there's a place to stay cool. Good seats, eh, buddy? 4th down and 7 from the 16. Foreman will try the field goal. The spot will be at the 23-yard line. It'll be a 33-yard kick with the wind at his back. This is a makeable kick for Foreman. His holder is Tom Haas of Aurora.
It's that fake kick. We saw that.
This is the fake. We knew it was coming. The throw back to Herman. Herman gets around Thomas, inside the 5, down to the 3.
That's the play Coach Mazurski had indicated that they might run, and they ran it very well. As soon as we saw that motion, we knew that something was coming with respect to the fake kick. And, of course, Tim Herman, again, 6'6", 250 pounds, and he's not somebody you just bring down with a single arm tackle. We'll see it again here now. It's going to be a throwback here. You see Herman, and now nice move to the inside by the handy-dandy running back, 6'6", 250-pound linebacker turned running back, Tim Herman from where else? Lincoln Southeast.
Southeast coach Mazurski told us that if they ran motion from left to right in a field goal situation, look for Herman on the delay on the left side. There's Herman, number 95. They knew it was coming. They executed it well. They pick up an important first down, and Herman lumbers all the way down to the 2-yard line. The South is in business again. Look at Mazurski. He's got to be happy now.
There's a little fire coming out of his eyes, ears, and nose right now. He is really an animated guy. He really is. Had a real enjoyable talk with him yesterday afternoon about, you know, a number of things with respect to his club and how he felt about the game, how he felt about the trip, and just a fine, fine guy. He's very intense, but look at him out there. He's really going after it. Now he wants Timmy Herman back out on the field.
Now, credit Chuck Mazurski with doing a good job at Southeast. He came in on the heels of Frank Solich, one of the most successful high school coaches ever in Nebraska. Mazurski came in with quite a reputation to live up to, and he has not only lived up to that reputation, he has built on it. He has exceeded and excelled.
Not only that, he can still backpedal.
Tell you what, put a hat on this guy.
You bet. He may want to take a few hits out there.
Get him in there. First down and 2.
Tim Herman is again back into the ball game, playing that offside back and the power I formation. They've been running that way all the time, all afternoon. Now they're going the other way. Good.
Haas back and quarterback to give to Carroll, and he's stopped by Engelbert.
Herman that time in the game simply as a decoy. They've been looking and running that way almost all afternoon with Sheppers and Herman leading that block up to the outside. At that time, they ran Herman to the outside, hoping they'd draw it out and came back inside.
Herman may be the early favorite for MVP, Adrian?
I would say he's definitely a consideration, along with, you know, Sheppers has done a good job, too, offensively and defensively. Both have done very, very well this afternoon.
2nd down and goal at the 1. Haas, the quarterback. The give to Mitchell.
I'll tell you what, great hit. Number 52 on the inside, and that's Mark Linder from Millard North, a super stater. I tell you what, great job, 6'1", 260 pounds, and he filled it up. Watch inside here. Boom, right there. Just a great hit. You can't hit him any better than that. That's payoff territory right there. I mean, you have no margin for error, and they filled it up. Linder filled it up about as well as anybody is ever going to fill the hole. There you see him right there, Mark Linder.
Linder with a big size advantage, 260 against 170. 3rd down and 1 now. That's Herman in motion. Haas will keep.
Counted up.
Haas on the naked bootleg to the right. Touchdown.
Wow. Great play by Tom Haas. And that's number 34 for the North team that missed the tackle, Troy Euler, but that was just some fancy footwork and just prior determination that Haas had.
And look how they respect Tim Herman. Herman runs the decoy in motion. We'll see it again probably after the kick. But they respect Herman so much, and this is one of those plays where Haas might not have told anybody. He just told himself, I'm going out there. Everybody go left. I'm going to the right. 6 points. Foreman on now to try to tie this ball game. It's up, and it's down, and it's up and good. 14-14 ball game. 3:02 left in the 3rd period, and this South team is marching.
Coming back. They've just hung in there like a junkyard dog all afternoon, digging away, biting away, and clinging on. You know, Bob, you remember we talked in the pregame.
The happiest guy in the field right now. Foreman to kick it off. Deep is Thomas. 2 yards deep. They'll whistle it dead. It'll come out to the 20-yard line. The North will take over there. 3:02 left in the third. 14-14 ball game. And a pretty good one here, the 29th Shrine Bowl.
Terry certainly didn't want to field that ball in the end zone and, of course, have him blow the ball dead. He wanted to run. He was ready to go out and get with it, but they did blow the ball dead. Marcichek, the referee, as soon as the ball fielded in the end zone, of course, the whistle blows. So as we watch, well, we're looking at a couple of sun worshipers, and there's that famous NETV umbrella.
You know, if you want to stay out of the sun, this is the classy way to do it.
That's the way to do it.
This is it.
And if you would like one of those umbrellas, just contact Jim Carmichael or Steve Elvis and Nebraska ETV. They'll be happy to help you out.
4-7-2-3-6-1-1. The give on the left side. That is Euler. Monson on the tackle. A gain of maybe 4 yards out to the 24. The clock is running inside 3 minutes now in the third period. There's the wind. And there's the temp, sports fans. Remember this day, it's a record setter. 104 ties the Lincoln heat record for this day.
And as we have the wind chill index, we now have the heat index, but not today.
Everybody jumps. There's a whistle. And a new quarterback now in for the North team. That is Dave Svela of Lincoln Northeast, his first duty at quarterback. Everybody moved.
And usually, of course, Bob, as we're all well aware, that you bring in a new quarterback sometimes, that new cadence, that new routine, it'll constitute that sort of penalty right out of the chute. So, and Svela has not played quarterback yet this afternoon.
Svela, a busy guy. After this ball game, they tell me, he will pitch in a Legion baseball game tonight.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep. American Legion Championship district tournament's going on at 8 o'clock this evening. And Dave is scheduled to pitch. He's a multi-talented athlete, and he comes from a multi-talented family in all regards, and just it's a joy to watch him play.
And George Ochola around the right side. Good play by number 37. That is Mark Quist. Quist single-handedly stopped Ochola that time.
And Mark Quist not only did the job as far as stopping him, but he was able to flight off the block from Nolan Byer, number 46 for the North squad. Just, again, a single-handed play all the way around. He contained the play. He fought through the block. He knocked off Byer, and then he was able to make the hit and knock Ochola off his feet and knock him off balance and bring him down. So just a real fine play by that young man.
Paul Check now back into quarterback. Svela out, Check in on 3rd down and 12. Obvious passing situation. The man in motion is Euler. Check with protection, looking across the right side, has Lohmeyer. Lohmeyer out to the 32 and a first down.
Seen that play quite often this afternoon. I think that's the 3rd time they've run those split backs, deep split backs, stacked to the left side with motion, and then run Lohmeyer down on that deep hook. And there you see Check again. He's delivering that ball from the side, and I think he's hurt that finger, as you mentioned earlier, Bob, and threads the needle pretty well that time. And Lohmeyer makes a good grab, puts it away. First down now at the 31-yard line.
Lohmeyer on his way to Nebraska on a football scholarship. First down at 10 at the 31. The give inside of the fullback is Byer. 6 foot, 202-pound prototype fullback brought down by Matt Rayberg. We mentioned Byer, the 8-man player's got to look out here and go, hey, what are these 3 guys for? Just give me the ball. Terry Thomas now split wide to the right. Check the quarterback, Byer the fullback, and Ochola the I-back. In the slot is number 30, Tim Young. To give to Ochola and a whistle.
Start it all over.
Probably motion.
A couple of the North players were clapping their hands, and I think perhaps, well, we'll see here. Got a procedure penalty on the North team. Perhaps some premature celebrating by the North. I think some of them thought perhaps the South team might have been offsides again or in a procedure penalty on their end as before, but not this time.
We're seeing a few more players come to the ball game. There's a few players right there. A few more players in the ball game, some different cadence. A few guys may be tired out, and that I think is the cause for some of the penalties we're seeing here in the second half. Inside of 30 seconds now, 22, 21, 14, 14, second down and 2 at the 29 for the North. Check looking long for Terry Thomas.
That's a bingo.
Intercepted. Number 17, Todd Young with the pick at the 21. And a flag.
We got some color on the field with a flag, and it looks like they're going to call an interference penalty on that play.
They're going to say that Young pushed off on Terry Thomas, I believe.
Todd Young can't believe it. He's beside himself. He thought the referee was looking askance from the play and saw something else happen, because he said, no, I didn't do that. I just simply intercepted the ball. The ball was delivered. It was a high floating pass, and you could see it coming. You could see the bingo, the pass interception coming, as referred to. And I don't know that it was Todd Young that committed the interference. It might have been somebody behind. We'll take another look at it here. See Check making the drop. Now watch the ball. If we get a shot at it, the ball just floats. Now, see the ball. The man is hit behind him.
That's Atkinson.
Young had nothing to do with it.
Yep. Atkinson, 13 of Westside, was the guilty party. He really never even came into play. If he had not pushed Terry Thomas, Young would have made the pick on his own, because he had position between Thomas and the ball.
Right.
So it's not a good play on Atkinson's part. Obviously, Young not happy.
It's one of those things, Bob, where you got to communicate in the secondary. You work on that in practice all the time. Again, a factor of the short time of preparation, perhaps the unfamiliarity with one or two of those players, both not having enough practice time and working together, because bingo, we use the term bingo, or we used to use the term bingo. If the man calls the name or the word bingo out, he's got the ball. He goes to the football. You block or you do whatever. You get away. You don't interfere, like happened on that play. So, again, just a fundamental error, and really a big error for the South squad right now.
High school rules, they'll mark it off 15 yards from scrimmage. First down and 10 now at the 46. And the reverse by Check. Check to the 50. And Check down to the 45. He just ran away from Brian Monson that time. Good move by Check. Tom Lamel finally brought him down.
And it was a fine job by Lamel, because, again, an open field tackle with a quarterback. He can run. Check can run pretty well. And you'll see him sprinting out left here. Runs away from number 59, as we discussed, Brian Monson. Now watch 47, Tom Lamel. Good heads-up tackle. He got the head to the right side, and he was able to force him down, actually just about short. What do we got? First down or not, Bob? Is that
well, I think we're about a yard short. That is the last play of the third period, though. A 14-14 tie. They will turn them around and go the other way.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we got us a ball game here. 2nd and 1 to give to Euler. And I think he's short.
Number 69 that time, a replacement player, Matt Sopcich, came in and made that initial hit.
59.
Whether or not he stopped him short of that first down, it looks like it's going to be a bit short. They are going to call it 3rd and 1.
3rd and 1 now for the North. Dan Sullen, the quarterback. Power I formation behind him. The I back is number 30, Tim Yonk, and he has the first down. Brian Monson on the tackle.
Yonk will walk on in Nebraska this fall. Timmy, as we mentioned earlier, a superstater, Class B Player of the Year, led the state with 2,175 yards rushing last fall. A yeoman's job in any category. And I think Timmy wants to major in business from all indications. And we don't mean monkey business by any means.
Dan Sullivan, the quarterback, first down and 10 at the 43 to give inside, and the flag. Nolan Byer, again, the 8-man player from Sydney St. Pat's, blasting his way up for a couple of yards. Monson again on the tackle, and the call will go against the North. This may be the perfect time, Adrian, for us armchair quarterbacks to speculate on how the North might open up this offense. They've got the wind at their back. They seem to have momentum right now. I would not be surprised to see Sullen try to put it up, maybe look for Thomas. He has been fairly quiet aside from that one touchdown. We haven't seen a lot of Terry Thomas.
He hasn't burned the sideline with the speed as we expected, as we look at head coach Bob Schnitzer, that is, conferring with his players.
Now that holding penalty knocks it back into North territory at the 49-yard line. It will be first down and a ton. 1st and 18. Paul Check now in a quarterback. They're alternating about 2 or 3 plays for Check. 2 or 3 for Selin. Let's see what Czech can do now. Fire is the fullback. Achola the I-back. They split.
Watch that motion.
Euler
Same
in
play.
motion.
There he is, and wide open.
Czech
Wide
looking
open
to
in the middle.
Euler at the 30 and down to the 29.
It's the same route that we've seen now. That's about the 4th or the 5th time with that set and that motion. And every time, I think at least 4 out of those 5 times, that receiver has come open. There you see the motion across the screen. Now watch just right to the top of your screen. The receiver will break free over the middle. Good timing call, or good timing pattern, that is, and a good delivery by Czech. And Czech threw the ball better that time. He wasn't at that sidearm motion that he's been throwing with since that first series.
First down and 10 to the 29. Czech to Achola, and Herman rides him down.
Welcome once again.
These two guys just seem to go everywhere together.
We're going to have a blotted 95 and 24 on each jersey by the end of the afternoon if this keeps up.
Look at him again. This Herman kid can play.
Watch Timmy Herman at the top of your screen now. Just comes sailing in there. He did the old scrape maneuver. He comes to the outside. I guess, you know, the old blitz, we talked about no blitzing. That really was not a blitz because they can come up and meet that sort of motion or that sprint out action. That is within the frame of the rules. It's not actually a blitz.
No gain. 2nd and 10. Full house backfield. Czech. The reverse fake. Czech looking to throw. Across the middle, he has Thomas down to the 9. Spins away to the 5. Inside to the 3. Todd Young finally brings him down.
Bob, you called it. Terry Thomas relatively quiet on the afternoon, and all of a sudden he opens it up down to the 3-yard line.
Adrian, on 2 plays before this, when they threw to Euler across the middle, part of the success of that play was due to the fact that they would run Thomas deep. They were faking Thomas down, opening up the middle. Finally, they went to Thomas, and look at the payoff.
You bet. They're down there in the old, as I call it, payoff territory.
We're in plus territory, folks. First down and goal at the 3. A tie ball game. 9:18 left to play. Our eye behind Czech. This is Euler slipping to the 4. Well, I tell you, on paper, I looked at these teams for the better part of 2 weeks, and looking at the talent the North had, I imagined that they would run away in this ball game. But so far, it could not be any closer, could not be more evenly matched.
Looks like we have our first problem with an injury. Number 68, Monty Dixon, is coming off. Monty out of Grand Island Central Catholic, 6'5", 245 pounds. A little bit of a limp there, perhaps a knee or an ankle, but fortunately he's moving off under his own power, and we all hope, of course, nothing too severely wrong with the young man.
Monty will play for Paul Roach at Wyoming next year on a football scholarship. 2nd down and a loss of 2. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 5. The reverse by Czech. They tried it once. Will it work again? Czech to the 5, to the 3, to the 2. Tom Lammel on the tackle.
Tell you what, Lammel's making a name for himself this afternoon with some great open field tackles, because he just saved a touchdown right there. And again, he reacts very, very well to the football. Now you're going to see Czech roll right, ball on the hip, of course. He runs out of the grasp of number 65, Scott Lang, and then boom. Boy, and I tell you what, that's a great hit. Just a great hit by Lammel.
It's a good stop, and he hung on to the ankle, and the foot did not let him go. He'd rather twist that foot off than let the kid score.
Yeah. You know, that's really a quick play to react to also, because it's down there, and you only got one shot down there in that territory, and you got to make it right the first time. And well, Czech's going to check off. He does. No pun intended. I'm sorry. But Czech did check off. He saw something out there on that defense that just didn't agree, and so he's going to take a timeout. He probably needs a drink of water, too. So we're going to take a timeout on the field here in the 4th quarter. It's 7:55 left in the game, and the North team, of course, knocking on the door.
The team's, of course, limited to a 4-3 defense in the middle of the field. They can also run a goal line. They can run a variation of the 6-5 inside the 10. That's one of the rules they allow the defense. 6-man front, 5-man back. You see the South, or rather the North staff, talking to the North. That is Coach Bob Schnitzler of Battle Creek. Boy, what a year Battle Creek had.
12-0, Class C championship.
We have the only player now who scored against Battle Creek is playing on the North offensive team. Gary Crumlin scored twice against Battle Creek this year. He is the only man in Nebraska to score against them. Now that says something about the Battle Creek defense.
Bob Schnitzler was an assistant coach in this Shrine game in 1982. Mazursky also an assistant coach in the 1983 game with Dan Young as head coach that year. And of course, Bob Schnitzler is the father of two rather well-known Nebraska football players. Rob Schnitzler, a very fine wide receiver who graduated this year, and Craig, his son, a kicker in this game a number of years ago, well, not too long ago, 1983. And Rob, of course, played in this game also, so it's been a family affair for the last several years here at the Shrine Bowl in the Schnitzer family.
It is action time now. Check has checked off. It's 3rd and 1. This is Achola on the left side. Touchdown.
Yeah, you get that kid that close, and it's really hard to deny him. He's just too quick, too strong, and too fast a foot to deny him there at the 2-yard line. So here, good shot ground level. Look at that pulling guard, number 52 for the North team. That's Mark Linder. Pulls out, leads the play. Fine block delivered by Linder, just right there at the bottom of your screen, rolling over. There's a guy that celebrates, but he ought to share it a little bit with Mark Linder, who really got him in the end zone.
Mark Linder, Millard North High, headed to Wayne State. George, buy that man a dinner. He gives his North team a 20-14 lead. Massac will come on to try to make it 21-14. It's good. 7:51 left in the 29th Shrine Bowl, and the North takes a 21-14 lead over the South.
Goals in their schools, and we're on those rolls 2 or 3 or 4 times straight, so a lot of academic talent. Oh, there's some fancy.
There's the reverse.
Fancy play out there.
And it goes to Borman, and Borman is driven down to the 23.
And that was Justin Hagman for the North squad that made the hit. But again, that reverse on the kickoff, as you called it.
Now watch. It'll go to 45. That is Curtis Cotton. And then it goes to 43, and then it goes to Borman, and Borman looking for somewhere to go, but nowhere to go.
Hagman just heads up play. Hagman headed to the Colorado School of Mines this fall, but heads up play. Justin Hagman from Morrill, Nebraska, 6'2", 190 pounds.
Tom Haas to throw on 1st down across the middle. Nobody there. And let's see what Chuck Mazursky has in store for the next one.
Okay, Coach, what's this one?
We're going to put Borman in motion, and we're going to try to have him rotate so the monster goes deep middle, and Borman is deep against the player that's a little bit slower than him.
Okay, so we're drying her deep this time.
Yeah, we're trying to get the motion man.
Just trying to get Borman deep one-on-one. They figure if they can get him one-on-one, Bob, he's got a real good shot at making that grab and advancing the ball.
We'll watch Borman. A bit of confusion now. Borman sets on the right side. Weiss will go to the left side. Haas, the quarterback. They'll run motion with Borman to try to draw the safety. Now Borman heads upfield. Haas looking for him across the middle.
He's there.
Haas going long. Borman is open, and it's tipped away. Number 28, Matt Bach, with a good play.
That was some excellent coverage that time by number 28, Matt Bach, as you just called it, and also by number 32, Doug Dennis.
Let's see what's up next.
And where's it going this time?
Fullback's going to get the ball on a middle screen.
All right, they're keeping it in the air, and they're going into the wind.
I think the wind had an effect on that last one.
That was a factor because Borman was open by probably 2 to 3 strides for an instant or two, and the ball just was hung up in the wind, did not get there on time. Had it gotten there on time, maybe Borman would have gone, but Matt Bach was able to catch up to it and made a great play.
3rd and 10. Watch the fullback, number 25, Scott Gertis, will delay and go across the middle. And he is nailed. Boy, they sniffed that one out. Are these guys listening to what we're saying up here?
That was number 22, Justin Hagman again. Another heads-up play by Justin, and he was able to smell out that delay or that screen pass to the left and make a good hit and actually cause a loss on the play of about, what are we talking about, 4 or 5 yards.
3rd down, 4th down, and 15. They'll have to punt the ball into the wind. Greg Foreman out of Ralston High will punt the ball.
Now, the last time this happened, we saw one of those hop, skip, and jump punts right back to about the 15-yard line. So we'll see if he can bang it out of there. Again, the wind has really been stiff, going from our right to left, in actuality going from the south.
Euler is deep. Foreman will kick. It's a pretty decent kick into the wind, drives him back to the 46, to the 45.
Good wall. Good
Mueller
wall.
has the wall to the 40. He needs one block to the 35, inside the 15, down to the 8.
Excellent execution in terms of punt return and setting up that wall down here below us to the lower part of your screen as you look at Troy Euler, again, out of Battle Creek, and, well, just an excellent football player. Schnitzler really impressed with him. Now watch to the left side, if you can, the top of the screen. You'll see all white jerseys. And boom, there's a hit there. Number 43 taken out of the play. That was Chris Winscott. He's got a little help to the inside there, 36.
Look who makes the tackle, the kicker.
Yep. The only man left. So, good execution that time on the punt return by the North team. And the North, well, looks like we're going to come back.
Boy, that's a shame.
It really is.
Let's see what's up now. That's a big break. That gives the South the first down. What do they do now?
Okay, Coach, what do you got on now?
Slot right 54 ISO.
Okay, they're going right up the middle at him.
Isolation, the linebacker's dream.
Boy, this is a major penalty.
It takes them from about, where were we spotted, Bob? Somewhere around that 10-yard line, 12-yard line?
That's a big break for the South team. First down at 10 at the 45. They're coming right up the middle.
An isolation play basically is designed to isolate the linebacker, and there's a lead block by the up back. He blocks the linebacker, either depending on how he's shading, takes him either inside, outside, and then the back runs off that block. So that's why they call it the isolation. They're isolating on that one player to take him out of the picture and then let the running back try to break free into that secondary, and then it's really up to him from that point out.
So this again, one of the officials' time out of the field to give the players a chance for a drink of water and a break. Exactly 6 minutes left. Yonk across midfield down to the 48. Second down. What's up now, Frosty?
Okay, what's this one, Coach?
53 ISO.
Okay, they're gonna keep it up the middle, and I want to tell you, the wind is pretty brisk down here, and it's behind the North's back. They could throw here with the help of the wind, but they're electing to stay on the ground.
To see now, we've got a 2nd and 4. They're about 2nd and 3. And those isolation plays, you can pick up 5 to 6 yards. That's what you want to do in a situation like this.
Watch Tim Yonk now around the right side. Yonk has a first down and more. Curtis Cotton finally drags him down. So it's a first down at 10. What's up now?
30 power eye left, 34 blast.
You heard it.
That'll be the
eye left. Look for the fullback.
That'll be the fullback, right, up to the 4 hole.
The clock is continuing to run inside of 5:05, 5:04. The North with a 3-point lead in the ball. Power eye formation. Euler, Byer, and Yonk behind Sellen. This is Byer. No, check that. That time it was Euler.
56, power eye left, 56 blast.
They're going to keep it going. There's 21-14, 4:30 left in the ball game, and the North will grind it out.
Just trying to run that clock down now is what Schnitzler's trying to do, and if they can continue to pick up that 2 to 4 to 5 yards on each play, the ISO play, the blast play, that'll happen.
Euler and Byer, and this is Yonk. Adrian, what can the defense do now? They're limited to a 4-3. Can they try anything different?
They can't blitz. They can meet those kind of plays that are designed to flow to the outside. They can come up and meet those, but they cannot do any sort of blitzing.
What's up now?
What's this one, Coach?
244-27 pass.
And who's the primary receiver?
Right end. It's coming up, running an under pattern.
Third down and 7. Wind at their back. Watch the right end. That is Terry Thomas. Paul Check now in at quarterback. The fake. Thomas across the middle. Check is looking. He's hit. It's picked off. Number 57 has the ball. That is, let me check.
Bill Ziegelbein, Bob, on the interception. The ball again floated in the air after the quarterback was hit. Good job that time by Ziegelbein, and there he is celebrating, and that's one of the happiest guys that you'll see this afternoon. Bill Ziegelbein, a name we have not mentioned very much this afternoon. We'll see it again here. Quarterback's going to get nailed. He's looking back. That's Check. He's looking back, and bingo. That was number 59, Brian Monson, that made the hit. And then, of course, Ziegelbein on the reception, 57 from Polk, Nebraska, 6'4", 210 pounds. Very critical interception for the South squad.
And we got a new ball game, sports fans. The give on first down goes to Winscott. The tackle by Lovejoy. 3:10 left in the ball game. The South trailing by 7. They have the ball, and they got to move it.
Problem, of course, as Frosty mentioned earlier, there's a very stiff wind blowing as you look at the TV screen from right to left. That's the direction the South squad is going. So in order for them to throw the football, it's going to be very, very difficult, other than short routes and just dumping the ball out maybe to the backside of the backfield and letting them try to make yardage up the field. But going deep is going to be very difficult.
At the risk of being repetitious, watch 89, Borman. Anderson looking to Borman. Anderson running for his life, will keep it. Looking for the out of bounds, does not get there. The clock continues to run. Kirk Coleman on the tackle. 2:30 left.
We'll watch Anderson now move to his right. Now, Borman did a great job in getting free and getting upfield, but Anderson was getting so much pressure from Coleman that he just could not make the play. And there you see it right there. Good heads-up hit by Kirk Coleman, headed to UNO this fall out of Omaha Northwest. 5'10", 195, or rather 193. Significant difference, 2 pounds.
2 minutes, 1:59, 1:58. The give inside to 43. Winscott on the draw play gets a couple. The clock continues to run. And the South needs to do something here. I'm surprised they haven't called timeout.
Still running. This clock is still going down. There's a whistle.
The South will take their last timeout in the ball game. 140. The eye back is Carroll.
That's what it was.
There's the shovel pass, like you called it. And I believe they get the first down.
Looks to me, if the referee is generous, they have the first down.
Good call, Adrian.
You know, linebackers are good for one call a game, and I just had the opportunity, and I took it.
I tell you what, don't knock success. 1:35 left in the game. They will measure for the first down, a critical first down. If they turn it over, the North can run the clock out. The South has no more times out.
We're talking anything but a nose right here. No, maybe not.
They got it. First down. Biggest first down of the ball game so far for Coach Chuck Mazurski and his South team.
And that's who you're looking at right there, talking to number 47 for the South team, and that's Tom Lammel. He's saying, Tom, go to Misty's tonight and have a big steak.
With any luck, a victorious steak, my friend.
Yes.
First down and 10. Haas to pass. Has a man. 83 is Rivers. He gets the ball. He's interfered with by Doug Dynas.
And that's a fine call, because it really was a pass interception. And Dynas now arguing that there was some pro action from the receiver, but that's not true. It's a good call.
Okay, Coach Mazurski.
Hey, I only tapped him a little bit, he said.
Says, what the heck? That's one of my Southeast boys. I'll take it.
That's right.
Haas talking to the official. They're pointing and walking toward the north.
He's trying to determine if, from the point of the ball, if it's going to aid them to take that penalty. Because the ball would be spotted at about the 41 or 42 yard line on the penalty.
Go White minute! Go Hartman!
1:25 left in the ball game. South trailing by 7.
They picked up about 4 yards on the penalty by taking that penalty.
They'll take the penalty.
Now they're coming up right away with the play. They're ready to go, and that's a good move by that South squad to be ready to go right after the mark-off. The defense not really ready to go on their own.
First down and 10 at the 37. Haas looking to the right side, and it's tipped away and almost picked off. Lovejoy with the good play at that time. Mattingly almost picked it off. Intended that time for Lammel.
Well, and I tell you what, Haas got a break. Tom Haas got a break that time because he threw it right into a crowd of about 4 or 5 people. Watch him on the drop. He's looking downfield, looking to the outside, and then comes back in. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 people, and then almost number 5, number 26, Mark Mattingly, going after that errant ball after it had been tipped, and he almost came up with the interception. And boy, what a crowd to throw into.
Second and 10 at the 37. Haas with the pump fake, looking in the end zone, looking to Borman. Overthrows him. It's intercepted by Thomas. Thomas will run. He's at the 10.
Got room.
Thomas with all kinds of room. Thomas to the 30. There's a flag. Thomas cuts back down to the 39.
Ball simply overthrown that time by Haas, and Thomas very alertly in the end zone to pick it off. We're going to probably see a clipping penalty of some sort.
It's something after the interception, so the play will count. Take a look at it again.
Here we'll see Haas just unload. The ball just overthrown, and Thomas, no problem making the catch. Now, he's got some room to the outside here. He'll try to pick up the penalty. There's a flag way back, number 71 for the South team, Chuck Murphy, laying on the ground, and I noticed that he was ducking his head, and I think we have an interview.
Let's see Terry Thomas on the sidelines.
Terry Thomas, after that nice snag, what did it look like back there?
We knew they were going to give it to Borman because he went out to play before to get some rest. And I'm exhausted from the game, and I just played off of him about 10 yards, and I knew where they were going to him, so I just played deep, had free man safety come up, and they overthrew him, and I was there.
Nice break on the ball, good run. You better get some rest.
Terry Thomas has played a whale of a ball game. He's got to be in the running now for MVP. Let's see the call, or let's hear the call.
Slip on the return. First down. First down and 10.
Okay, Adrian, here's the situation. 1 minute, 3 seconds. First down and 10 to the 12. The North with a 7-point lead and the ball. The South with no timeouts.
Yeah.
Do you fall on it?
You just play ball control right now. Would be my if I were in the coach's shoes, and I'm glad I'm not. You just play ball control. They've been able to pick up some good yardage with some isolation plays on the afternoon. I would expect them to continue that.
Savela gives to Achola.
It's just what that was right there. It's an isolation play onto the left side. So that's what they'll try to do. 37 and counting. I think this game is ready for the books.
We see some more substitutions now. Crumlin coming into the ball game. Yonk coming into the ball game. Savela, of course, will get some quarterback time here tonight. He will pitch in his Legion baseball game.
A little later on, he's going to go ahead and bowl in the midnight bowling tournament out at Valley Lanes.
I tell you, truly, the renaissance man of this team. Justin Hagum coming in now at one running back. You see a lot of guys with good hands on this North team now. They want good hands to hang on to that ball. 4 seconds and a stop on the field.
Well, they just flagged him for delay of game. They ran the clock all the way down.
We will get one more snap, and the 29th Shrine Bowl will be history. Good ball game. I enjoyed it.
It was fun. It really was. I did enjoy it myself. Good shot of Mazursky. Of course, nothing for him to be... and that's also assistant coach Herman.
That was Herman, our man with the haircut, Tim Herman of Lincoln Southeast.
I'll go for that.
We are waiting on word of the MVPs. If we had a vote, which we don't, we would probably cast some in the direction of Herman, some in the direction of Terry Thomas, possibly Tom Haas, and Frosty Anderson, of course. Thank you, Frosty. That's his hand right there, in fact. Frosty, can you hear us?
Certainly.
Can you grab a kid and ask him what has the heat been like down there? Has it bothered the kids at all?
Well, we had that quick talk with Terry Thomas, and we certainly know that he was feeling the effects of the heat. Say, guys, how was the heat today?
It was extremely hot out there on the field. Extremely. Your feet just burn out there on the turf.
And you heard it. They were playing on grass during camp. Congratulations, guys.
And the ball game is over. The North squad is victorious, 21-14 in the 29th Shrine Bowl game. We'll try to get the winning coach, Coach Bob Schnitzler. Frosty doing yeoman's duty down on the sideline today, fighting the heat, fighting the elements.
Good show of sportsmanship right here. Now, each and every individual from the North and the South team exchanging a handshake, a high five, a low five, or whatever might be in vogue at this particular time. And really good to see that. Those guys know why they play this game. There's Mazursky and Schnitzler shaking hands. All just within the realm of great sportsmanship, and it's really the things that I really enjoy most about sport. This type of thing you see there. There's Mr. Clean from Lincoln Southeast, Tim Herman. He just said I got tired of the long hair. I'm hot in my helmet, and the heck with it, I'm cutting my hair off. So
I think you and I ought to do that next year. What do you think?
Yeah, I tell you what, if you will, I will.
You got it.
You're first.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Only one injury in the ball game to speak of. Number 68, Monty Dixon, I believe, twisted an ankle. I saw him walking off in his own power. Other than that, no serious injuries. That's the kind of ball game we like to see. Of course, that's the kind of ball game the college coaches like to see. They always worry about injury to a high school player coming out just before he starts his college career. Some coaches keeping their players out of this ball game. Very rare indeed in this case. The North squad winning it 21-14, and we have the victorious coach down in the field.
Bob Schnitzler from Battle Creek, nice job. Quite a bit of offense in this game.
Well, I don't know what the yardage was, but we mixed it up, and I thought we played a good offensive game, trying to go and attack in different areas of the field and play a wide open game, not only just a running game. So I hope it was a good football game.
And Coach Pepito from Millard North did a pretty good job with the defense there.
Yeah, did a good job with the defense. And the South had one good run, you know, or a good drive there in the early going, but we shut it down, and after that we played good defense.
All right, congratulations. It was a fun game, hot day today. Way to go.
Thank you.
Nice job by Coach Schnitzler. Nice job by Frosty Anderson. Of course, a nice job by all the coaches and players. Adrian, final thoughts on the ball game.
Well, I really wanted to ask